Have you ever wanted to talk to your video interview? You know, talk to your video like if it was a living, breathing thing, ask it questions, and get answers and information quicker than you ever thought possible. That's exactly what some of our users are doing today, right now in Eddie. And today, I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get started. So Eddie has a lot of uses. Obviously, you have A-roll logging, B-roll logging, rough cut mode, podcast mode, and everything else under the sun. But a lot of our users have been telling us that they've been using Eddie as a transcript inspector. So they've been uploading their footage to original Eddie and talking to it just like they would ChatGPT or a super smart assistant editor that knows every single detail about your video, and discovering new things that they probably wouldn't have discovered if they were just scrubbing through their footage. If there's one thing AI can do really well, it's finding information very quickly and parsing it and delivering it in a really, really easy to understand manner. So to show you how to use Eddie as a video inspector, I have 3 separate interviews that I have never seen before that I'm going to test with. One interview is for, one is against, and one is neutral on the most important topic that anyone could debate. Is a hot dog a sandwich? And again, I've never seen these interviews before. I mean, I've never seen that man in my life. Or that one. Anyways, let's get into it. So first off, you're going to go to Original Eddie, and then you're going to upload your clips into Eddie. Once Eddie ingests and analyzes your videos, you'll be greeted with a short summary that discusses all of the information that you might need about your video, and also the key topics of these videos that you have uploaded. So, as you can see, we've got the definition of a hot dog, the definition of a sandwich, and lots of hot debates going on with these 3 strangers that I've never interacted with before. So to get started, I want to get to know my characters. So I'm going to ask Eddie about my characters. So I've asked Eddie to describe all 3 speakers to me. So as we can see, Bert is firmly anti-sandwich and treating this as a matter of principle. Bobby is the pro-sandwich warrior, so he believes that a hot dog is a sandwich. And Bob is apathetic about the whole debate. He has more important things to deal with compared to a debate about whether a hot dog is a sandwich or not. So this is great for me to understand my characters and dive in a little bit more about their motivations and the topics and interests that they speak about in their interviews. I want to have them introduce themselves at the beginning of my video, so let's assemble all the places where these characters have introduced themselves. My name is Bert, and I believe that a hot dog is not a sandwich. Hi, my name is Bobby, and I believe that hot dogs are sandwiches. Hi, my name is Bob, and I don't care if a hot dog is or is not a sandwich. Now, if you want to kind of get a grand scheme of what is included in this video, you can ask something like, show me all the questions asked in these videos. Now, since there wasn't an interviewer present for this interview series, it's a lot of rhetorical questions that the speakers are saying to the camera. Is this lens cap a sandwich? Is this phone a sandwich? Am I a sandwich? But it's a great way if you have long interviews to see the basis of the questions that the interviewer is asking. One of the best parts of using Eddie like this is that you can watch all of these in line. You know, it's not like ChatGPT where you're just looking at your transcript. You can watch the videos as it picks out the moments that you're asking for. So let's see if Eddie can find the funniest moments in this video. So it gives me a little summary of what it found to be the funniest moments, where Bob is selling Waldo-less Waldo books. He's got a lot going on. Let's ask Eddie to cut together a highlight reel of this so we can see them in action. So when a hot dog truther tells you that it is not a sandwich, it comes from a place of deep hurt and repression. The minute we start letting everything be called a sandwich is the minute that we have lost hope in the society that we've built. As you can see, a lot of very, very passionate stances in this debate. So great, I'm learning more about my interviews by just simply asking a question to my transcript. Let's try another one. Say that I'm busy and overworked. What's the most magnificent kind of clip that I can use to get a sense of this video? I did specifically buy Waldo books that Waldo was removed from them just to teach them a hard lesson about life, where sometimes you don't get what you want. You learn more about a character the more you dive into them. Now say I want something that's super attention grabbing for the beginning of my video whenever I cut these all together. So let's ask Eddie, is there a soundbite in these interviews that would shock a viewer? Because you gotta start with something that really grabs the attention of someone in this, Netflix style era. You got 10 seconds. Gotta find something that's gonna grab them by the seat of their pants. If you put a gun to my head, said you have to save your family, you have to call this a sandwich? This hot dog in my hand, you have to call this a sandwich?
I can live without them. I'm not trading my principles for my family.
And if I saw that on my For You page, I'd probably want to watch more. So I kind of want to just sum things up. I want the best opinion on this matter from all three subjects.
So do I think the connected bun matters? The hot dog truthers, yes. Their entire argument lies on the fact that it is a split bun that divides hot dogs from sandwiches. You had a sub sandwich before? The connected bun means everything to the hot dog. It's the thing that separates society and anarchy. It's holding it like a newborn baby. Who cares? I don't. Things can change constantly, you know?
So you can put those together, and people are going to understand these characters right off the bat. We can export that out to Premiere, so we can have that in our bin ready to access. And all we have to do for that is just drag this edit button right into Premiere. And we're gonna have that sequence ready to go whenever we need it. And as we go down the line, we can just collect these and keep them in a bin so we can access them whenever we need them. And just like that, I have all of my cuts in sequences ready to access in Premiere so I can start building my story. Now, obviously, this is a pretty wild example of using Eddie to find information about your videos. But the cool thing is a lot of users have been using this for a ton of different use cases. One of them has been using it for conference interviews where they have 10 interviews of recording people on the floor and putting them into Eddie so they can find sound bites very quickly to upload to social media. Some have been using them for compilations of uploading multiple episodes of a podcast and finding moments about a certain topic and then exporting that and using that as its own content. People have been using it as interview discovery, where if they weren't there for the day of shooting, they can get a really, really good sense about the interview and the content of it in a really, really fast manner, so they can be prepared whenever they begin their edit. And some have been using it for character analysis and story ideas, so they can really get to know the speaker in these interviews, and that can dictate kind of how they're going to build the story around that character. People have been using this because it's really ingrained in their workflow. They can access information super quickly about their videos and export it in a second to their NLEs such as Final Cut, Resolve, and Premiere. So if you want to learn more about your videos in a really quick manner, try Eddie out to do some interview discovery and find some new ways to use the platform to your advantage. So thanks for tuning in. I'm Robbie, your content and community manager, and I'll see you in the next one.